Hello everyone, I hope you're doing great. So I just want to talk about Daniel Ricciardo, the situation he's in right now at McLaren. You know, he's getting a bit of pressure from the bosses. Obviously, Zach Brown was saying that there's mechanisms in Daniel's contract where it allows him to leave or it allows the team to release him. But they're not looking at it race by race, but they're just, taking it step by step to see how his results, come up, because they want better results from him, and he hasn't been at his best ability. But also we can put some blame on the McLaren car itself. Obviously Lando is driving very well, but sometimes Lando struggles with the McLaren, and if Lando struggles with McLaren, then it means that Daniel also can struggle. Daniel is, you can't just blame him for not having great performances when the car is not there. If the car was a race-winning car, Daniel will be absolutely on it. He's still absolutely on it right now while they don't have a race-winning car. So if you look at last year, McLaren's results, Daniel is the one that won the race for them in Italy. He overtook Max Verstappen in the first corner and he won the race. Even though the team told Lando to stay behind him, he still won the race. And even if you look at Red Bull, Daniel was very close to Max in most of the weekends. I watched those seasons. Daniel was very close to Max, and sometimes Max will be like 2 or 3 times faster than Daniel. Sometimes it's equal, like there is like 0.0087 or 0.01. It's very close. But in the end of the day, sometimes Daniel was much faster than Max. He was like 2 or 3 times faster than Max. And even if I check the results here, let me see if I can find the result. Yeah, just checking out the results of the 2017 season, in which Daniel Ricciardo was teammates with Max Verstappen. Max had 2 wins in Malaysia and Mexico. Daniel had 1 win in Azerbaijan. Daniel had 9 podiums and Max had 4 podiums, so he had more podiums that season. Obviously, qualifying head-to-head, Max had 13 times more ahead than Daniel. Daniel was 7 times ahead. And in points tally, Daniel had 200 points and Max had 168. So that's like 42 points ahead. So in 2017, Daniel Ricciardo beat Max Verstappen in the Red Bull over the season. So Daniel's a very consistent driver in Formula 1. It's just he hasn't had the car that's very, very fast, lately. But even at Renault, Daniel did very well. He scored 2 podiums, I'm sure, and he also has some very, very good results. And really, him moving to McLaren was a mistake, because if he stayed at Renault rebranded to Alpine, he would have got more results. Maybe he thought McLaren must have given him a much better deal in money terms and everything. But Daniel, to me, is a very good driver, and obviously there's a lot of pressure on him. And a lot of the motorsport analysts, they're saying that Daniel's under pressure. He's gonna lose his position. He's gonna lose his seat. But what they're not thinking about is he's gonna have options, because he had good results at Red Bull, he had good results at Alpine, and he's won a race at McLaren. So he's a proven race winner. So he's got, how many wins has Daniel Ricciardo got? He's got 5 race wins. He's got 24 podiums, and he's got 3 pole positions. So Daniel is not that bad of a driver. It's just that he just needs to be in a car that's very fast, right at the front, fighting for a championship, and he needs to have his setup. He needs to have the right setup that's more likened to his driving style. So now what Daniel can do at McLaren is he can contact the engineers, or he can make more rapport with the engineers to maybe change the steering wheel a little bit to his liking a bit more, where the buttons are where the buttons that he needs here to use are much more familiar to him. You know, maybe his steering wheel settings is just a normal settings that the engineers have given him. Maybe he hasn't made adjustments to his steering wheel. You know, that could be or just that alone could find you 2 or 3 times a second over a lap. You know, if you just make the changes where your fingers can get quick to the buttons that you need. You know, well, most of the buttons that you don't need, just get them out of the way. You know what I mean? Because you're not gonna need every button on the Formula One steering wheel. So that's a change that he can make. But I'm sure there's many more, you know, Grand Prix wins for Daniel. If he stays at McLaren and they get a fast car, he can do some bits, you know, or also he can move to a different team. I'm sure Red Bull will take Daniel Ricciardo back. They will take him back because still got a good relationship with them, and even Alpine will take Daniel back. And there's other teams as well, you know. I'm sure he had contact with Ferrari before, so there's nothing. I don't feel like Daniel should be under major pressure and under major criticism, because he's a very, very good driver. And in the same team, he beat the best driver on the grid right now, Max Verstappen. So imagine what he could have done in the Red Bull 2021. That's what people are not thinking about. If Daniel Ricciardo was in that Red Bull last season, it would have been a three-way championship battle. So I feel like the pundits, they need to, you know, they need to respect Daniel Ricciardo's driving skill much more. To me, probably he's struggling with the settings of the car, the setup of the car, the McLaren right now, and he's struggling with the what's it called, the steering wheel setup. I'm sure that's what he's struggling with right now. And yeah, you can see in the picture above, you can see him celebrating winning in the Italian Grand Prix in Monza in 2021 for McLaren. So I feel like Daniel Ricciardo deserves a lot of credit still. And yeah, if you're liking the content, yeah, you can subscribe to the video, to the channel. You can like the video, you can share it, and also drop a comment, you know, what's your thoughts on Daniel's situation at McLaren right now. So yeah, take it easy.